Okay, Mom. Last time we took a video of you was November 25th of last year. Today is
2018.
today is November 17th, Sunday of 2019. Last Monday, Val and Dave and Leslie and I and you went to the Olive Garden to celebrate Dad's birthday, which was going to be on the Tuesday.
And you were thanking me, and I said, thank DeRay, it was his money.
We worked in the temple on Tuesday, so we had to do it on Monday instead of his actual birthday. Anyway, we want to wrap up this video series by doing a couple of things. First off, I don't think you got to tell us about your experiences in the Salt Lake and the Bountiful Temple. What can you tell us about those?
Well, Earl Jones, and not the Earl Jones that lived in our ward, he was in the stake, called us and invited us to work in the Salt Lake Temple. And we said yes, and it was one of the most pleasurable, lovely experiences I ever had. We worked in the kitchen, but at the time he called us or interviewed us, he said, one job in the temple is as important as any other job. And he would like us to work in the cafeteria. And we had some really good friends. Maria was the name of the lady that was in charge of the cafeteria. We also met Bill Love, who was, I don't remember what he was, but he was a very nice gentleman, and DeRay and he had quite a bond together. And then Marcia was a lady in the cafeteria that I felt really close to, and she came to see us once after we moved to Bountiful. And we so enjoyed it, and we get to go up I think we worked on Wednesdays, but once a week we'd go up and get the room ready for the First Presidency to have their meal and their meeting.
First Presidency and the 12?
Yes. And at one time, President Benson wasn't there because he wasn't well at the time. But we'd put a big bouquet of flowers in the center of the table and get the table all ready for their luncheon and meetings.
All the dishes and silverware and etc.?
And I'm not sure if it was once a week or once a month, but we did that. And one day they brought the floral bouquet to us to take home to have for ourselves. And it was a lovely bouquet. We brought it home. And then they built the Bountiful Temple.
Now wait a minute, back to the Salt Lake Temple. Did you ever serve food to the brethren?
Not that I remember.
You just prepared the room.
But we got to eat our lunch there every day that we worked there. We worked one day a week. And there was no charge, and that was really nice.
How many years did you work there?
7 or 8 years. And then they built the Bountiful Temple.
Okay, before we leave the Salt Lake Temple, what did you do in the cafeteria?
Well, DeRay brought in the dishes and sprayed them off and put them in the dishwasher. And I worked on the counter, dishing up whatever they wanted that was on the menu. I didn't work at the cashier. I worked on the counter.
So you didn't have to cook anything?
No. They had a paid cook. Dora Jones was her name. And her husband worked with DeRay in bringing the dirty dishes in and hosing them off and putting them in the dishwasher. But I do remember sometimes I had to dish up. What kind of soup is it that I don't like? Clam chowder. No fish I hated to even dish up for people, but it's amazing how many people liked it anyway. But they had sandwiches and cottage cheese salads, and then they had desserts, of course. And we could have anything we wanted after our shift was over, and we'd go sit down in the cafeteria and eat with Blaine and Marilyn Kay and and can't remember the other gentleman's name, and his wife worked there too.
How long was your shift?
I don't remember what time we started or what time we got through, but we worked the noon shift, the lunch shift.
Did you ever have general authorities come through the line?
I don't remember any. I remember they had a room for the presidency's meeting just off of the cafeteria, but we didn't. We must have served some of the members of the temple presidency, but I don't remember, don't recall it.
Well, for 7 or 8 years, and then they opened the Bountiful Temple. So you were no longer in the Salt Lake Temple District.
So we decided to work in the Bountiful Temple. But one thing about the Bountiful Temple, the other workers, patrons, or whatever you want to call them, they wondered why they couldn't eat free if the cafeteria people could eat free. So we had to start paying for our lunch.
Unbelievable. Which cafeteria had the best food?
Well, they were about the same. Different menu with different prices. And we dished up soup and clam chowder and beans.
So you did the same thing?
Yes.
Dad did the dishes and you did the counter. What? How long did you work there?
Well, DeRay stopped. I can't remember why he stopped. Must have got sick or something. But I decided to keep working for a while, but then it started to get winter. DeRay must have stopped during the spring or summer. And I knew I wouldn't be able to drive up that hill in the winter, and so I retired too. But we made some good friends there too. They were really good to us.
Did you continue to eat lunch there then if you had to pay for it?
Most of the time.
Did you?
Because it was just easier than going home.
Good.
And I can see why. I mean, a lot of the temple workers come and stayed most of the day, and they had to pay for what they ate. So I guess it was fair.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of chintzy that they would complain about it though. Okay, what next?
Now I want to leave my message to the kids.
No, what else are you gonna tell us about?
Well, I wanted to read, I had an article and I can't find it now. I must have dropped it on the way in here. Is it still running?
Yes.
Turn it off for a minute.
I can't because it would start a new video.
It was an article I had cut out of the paper about being a mother for the first time, and I meant to tell you when I was telling about the birth of my children to read that, because it said you are a new person when you give birth. You're still a woman, but you're a new mother, and that's an entirely different person, and how that felt in your heart to be a new mother, and I felt the same way. Each one of my children.
How did you feel being a new grandmother?
Oh, that was a lot of fun too. That was exciting. Jacob was my first one, and Jack's my final one as of now. I'm expecting another one before Christmas, and I've got a name for Katie picked out. It's Kaya, K-Y-A.
Kaya. Well, I'll tell her, but I'm not sure she'll go for
I
it.
read about that in a book I read.
Ah. Yep, she's having a little girl next month. So, how many children do you have? Have you had? How many grandchildren and how many great-grandchildren?
I have 12 great-grandchildren as of now. Katie's baby will be my 13th. And that's not counting Peyton, our crew, because I don't have Peyton anymore, and crew's brand new.
Actually, we have 10, and Katie's will be number 11.
See, and Valerie has 2, so that makes me 2 ahead of you.
Yeah, so you'll have 13.
Right.
Awesome. How often do you get to see your grandkids?
Not near often enough. I used to see Jacob's boys every week because they'd come mow the lawn. But now Gary got home from his mission, so he mows it.
How often have you seen Dallas's kids?
Once a year. Valerie and Dave fly down once a year in Dallas. And
Do they invite you to go with?
well, Kimmy wanted me to go every time she's gone, but I can't go that far away from home. Because I'm a homebody now.
Afraid you won't find the way back?
No, but DeRay liked to travel, and I traveled with him, and he's traveled too far out of my realm, so I stay home.
Okay. Your hair looks nice. Did you get it done Friday?
Of course.
How did you get up there?
I white-knuckled it all the way because I'd had a little accident 2 weeks before.
What happened?
I hate to back out, and I was backing out and bumped into a car. And of course, it was a more expensive car than mine, and
What kind of car was it? Mercedes?
I think so. I tried to forget all about it. And I was embarrassed to go back the next week, but then everybody started telling me about times they had had, a little accident, and so it's like Dave said, accidents happen to everybody, and I told Valerie, you live long enough, you have all kinds of firsts, and some you like and some you don't like.
That's true.
Now I've got a big dent in my car, but Valerie said she and or Dave would come and take it down tomorrow morning.
Good. Get it fixed. Okay, what else you got?
So now to wind up the interview, okay, are we ready?
I think so, unless you have something else you want to say before that.
Well, I had a beautiful article I was going to give about my love for DeRay, but I can't find it. So I was going to tell you what my dad said. I think Gary interviewed him with Hazel's help, and she always tried to make everybody cry when she did interviews. But my dad always said, work at it. Don't give up too soon. And he always told us kids, when we got married, you make your bed, you lie in it. And even after his second marriage, and it wasn't really pleasant, Woodrow, my oldest brother, said, Dad, you better get out of this. And Dad said, no, I always taught my kids, you make your bed, you lie in it. So that was what my dad said. And my mom always said, if the thing is worth doing, it's worth doing well. So I've tried to live by that most of the time. Now my advice is to everyone that bears the Crockett name or the Woodrow name, as of now.
Or the Goff name.
There's lots others, but the Crockett's still in there. Try to be the best that you can be. The sky's now the limit. Be good, be patient, be kind and loving. And stay close to your elder brother, Jesus Christ. Remember your Grandpa DeRay and your great-grandma, Cleo. Thank you.
Thanks, Mom. It's been great. I'll send copies of these out to all the
And do you want this
family
book?
members. No. How old are you today?
I refuse to answer on the grounds it may incriminate me. I'm old enough
Okay, thanks,
to be
Mom.
a 70-year-old's mother, right?
Right.